right? Call hello, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone over well. I am not a member, however, I've entered into their labors. May peace and mercy be upon those, the sincere brothers and sisters, doing this wherever you are, whatever your lot may be. I pray that it abounds in your life and in your walk. So, again, this won't be long. I got a, little something from TikTok that just popped up. And it's funny. I think we'll title this to the spirit, Why Now? Why be honest now? And, of course, this question doesn't need an answer. It is already, you know why now. So, I'm going to let it play. We're going to get a couple scriptures, and then that will be the video.
Zionists in America have no idea that the people living in Israel are not native, the area of Palestine, Israel, whatever you want to, they were not born there. They immigrated from Europe.
Ashkenazi Jews.
And let's put all right, first off, how are you, let's unpack the term Jew if you're new. This is a fairly unpopular channel, so hell, I don't get very many views, so sometimes I don't even know why my videos get taken down. But anyway, the word Jew is derived from Judah, being the head tribe of the other 11. There's 12 in total. Ashkenaz is Japhetic. So you cannot be Ashkenaz and you cannot be a so-called Jew. You cannot be a Judite, which is the proper way to say it. So if you look at the generations of Noah, this is Genesis 10. These are the generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham. So Shem, where we come from, and many others, where Ammon and Moab and Edom. These are all Shemitic, or properly said Shemitic, not Sim, Shemitic races. But they're out of that. You have a single Shemitic race that was chosen, that was given the law, statutes, and commandments. So you have Hebrew Ammonite, you have Hebrew Moabite, you have Hebrew Edomite, but the chosen are Hebrew Israelite. All right, and Japheth, unto them were the sons born after the flood, the sons of Japheth. So you seeing where I'm going with this. These are all different nations of people. Ham being Ham being of the so-called African nations. Not to confuse Israelites that fled into Africa and have adopted those cultures over generations and generations, right? Because the Lord said he would gather us from the four corners of the earth. All right, so the sons of Japheth, Gomer, Magog, Madai, Javan, Tubal, and Meshach, Tyrus. And the sons of Gomer, okay, Ashkenaz. So the grandson of Japheth, who were dark-skinned people, and those are your so-called Pacific Islanders and things of that nature, right? Because that's who lived in the land of Magog, or where you would have Russia, or where Greece is, because the Edomites took that over. And they say they called themselves by the names, and they changed the names of lands, and basically he don't keep it at home. So that's what you have there. So you cannot be an Ashkenazi Jew, and I'm guessing they're saying Ashkenaz because the original inhabitants, that was Japhetic land. Remember, the Lord separated each of the nations. Actually, we want that too. Go. All right, so Deuteronomy 32 and 8. Oh, I was going to try to swipe like I could. Verse 8. All right, when the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance. When he separated the sons of Adam, he set bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. For the Lord's portion is his people. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance. Who is Jacob? His name was later changed to Israel, who is the progenitor of the 12 tribes, who are the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American today. He found him in a desert land in the waste, howling and wilderness. He led him about and he instructed him. He kept him as the apple of his eye, and as the eagle stirreth up her nest, fluttereth over her young, spread abroad her wings, taking them, beareth them on her wing. Taking them, beareth them on her wings. So the Lord alone did lead him, and there was no strange God with him. So the Lord separated us from all the nations, and each nation had their land and inheritance. Japheth inherited that land, and so when the Lord addresses these other nations, he's addressing, especially in future prophecies that are going to happen, he's talking to the net where he put them. He put those people in that land, and that's why he's addressing them in that capacity. That would be another story for another day. All right, so let's keep going.
Ashkenazi Jews who came in from Europe and with the rifle took the land. God didn't give it to them.
Balfour Declaration. I said decoration. Balfour Declaration. And you said he came with the rifle. By thy sword shalt thou live. That was Esau's blessing. Having the fatness of the earth. I believe that's the 24th or maybe the 22nd. Let's see. Or maybe it's 26. Behold, I stand here in a well of water. Nope. Let's keep going. Maybe it's 25. It's here. Bear with me. I'm gonna find it. And it came to pass at the death of Abraham, son of Isaac. No. Yes, here we go. Genesis 25. So the main characters are Jacob and Esau. That is an Edomite.
Nazi Jews who came.
That is an Edomite. And we're just off the face value, because skin color is not the thing. But if we're speaking in general, that is an Edomite. With their crown covered. Everything that they do is clean contrary to the Bible. Clean contrary to the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. All right. We'll start at 23. This is Rebecca, Salaki. This is Rebecca wondering what's going on in her womb. All right, the children struggle. Verse 22, the children struggled together within her, and she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of Yahweh. Yahweh said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb. 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. 1 people shall be stronger than the other. We know who that is. And the other shall serve the younger. And when her days to be delivered fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red all over like an hairy garment. Now, no baby is born full of hair. It's not a damn werewolf. That garment is the dyed ram skin. You can look, and if you do a ram skin search, you go find it. But his blood shows forth to his skin. He was red, right? And he didn't look melanated like everyone else did. All right, and therefore his name should be Esau or Ishashua, wasted away. Because he's pale, like he's already dead. Which is a foreshadow, because he's a dead man walking. All right. Where's the blessing? Let's get to the blessing. I need to find Rose. Come on now. Give me a second. I'm going to find it. Came near and kissed him. He smelled like his raiment. Therefore the God gave the dew of heaven, the fatness of the earth. Let the people serve the nations, bow down to thee. All right, so Isaac made an end to blessing Jacob. All right, when Esau heard the words, and of course, no accountability. You can see that that's a trait that stuck with these Edomites all the way up until now, all the way up until this, to our current generation. They think carnally and throw everything away, or, they care not for an inheritance. They just super carnal. And then when they take an L, oh my gosh. Look like this car's finna hit me. Slakia. And then when they take an L, they howling and crying. You can't just accept any sort of accountability. You can't take an L like you're supposed to. All right, when he heard these words, an exceedingly bitter cry. Let's see. We're going to get to the point just for the sake of time. Isaac answered and said, behold, I've made him Lord. All right, verse 40, 27 and 40. We're just trying to get to the point. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, and thou shalt break the yoke off thy neck. So that happened, obviously. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then I will slay my brother Jacob. And they've been trying to slay Jacob ever since. But the mercy of the Lord is that we have been scattered. And he can't, because the earth is given into his hands according to Job 9 and 24. So all of his efforts have been thwarted because Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is the master chess player.
From Europe, and with the rifle took the land. God didn't give it to them. They took it at the point of a rifle, shooting Arabs, and they killed Muslims and Christians. They slaughtered them, massacres.
And at what point did Yahweh ever say anything about a ish state, a state, right? The prophecy says that one, that there would be no war, and two, that the Israelites would dwell in peace in that land. And you also have a scripture that talks about the Gentile. We're gonna let it play for the sake of time. But it also talks about the the land being trodden down by the Gentiles until the time of the end. And we're talking actual heathen Gentile, not the uncircumcised Israelites who look like the other nations, because you got two sets. And you see this dude, I don't know who this is. I'm just using this video. He's got Jeremiah 16 and 19. The Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies. Yes. All right, because unrighteous dealings, injuries, we'll get that. We'll get it, Ecclesiasticus 10, and just say.
Women, children, horrible massacres. That is the history of Israel, 1948. And I dare any Christian Zionist to prove me wrong, because I can show you the historical records of the massacres that took place in 48. They were horrible, absolutely horrible. The people who were killed. And because of that, the Arabs developed a fury, an anger.
And don't think that any of these other heathen nations have forgot that. That is why Babylon the Great, or display America that today, is the guard dog or the watchdog of this state. And that, Salaki, I'm trying to see what this dude next to me is doing. So Babylon the Great is the guard dog of the state gotten by the Balfour Declaration. And because of that, the scripture about the beast hating the whore and burning her with fire, America's allies turning against her, and all of these missiles are coming here and to cause the scene of the lake of fire, right? Because there would be so many different fires going on because of the nuclear destruction. I did a video on that as well. So if you can scroll, I don't remember the name of it, but just keep scrolling, you'll find it. It has something in there about that in the title. If anybody happens to see this, I'll just scroll through and I'll just repost it if I need to. But the forget the name of it. I'm drawing a blank. It's too much going on around me. Slack it. So basically, yes, Babylon the Great, America, is the watchdog for the state of the Ish people. And because of that, that's where the destruction is going to come from. Because everybody's got a bone to pick with the state of the newly founded place of the Ish people, or the recently founded place of the Ish people. All of the surrounding nations have a bone to pick with them.
That European Ashkenazis just flooded in to Palestine and violently pushed them off their land.
All right, since I already said it, let me get Ecclesiasticus 10 and 8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. The kingdom will be translated into the hands of who it was always meant to go to, because when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked are in authority, the people mourn. The earth mourns. The trees mourn. The water, the fruit on the trees, everything is in a state of constant decay and death, because this fucking bastard thinks that he can do it better. So instead of just having regular chicken, you want lab-grown chicken. Instead of operating in a way that the Lord commanded this earth to be run, you got your own idea. And that is why things are in a decayed and a destroyed state that they are. So how long, O Lord? Baba Kusha. I think I made the point. I know I kind of bounced around a little bit and and got a little upset, but it's a righteous anger. And if you're in your right mind, you'd be upset too. Especially if you've been reading the scriptures and you're learning how things should be compared or contrast to how things are. Awful. They're awful. And it's just time for him to go. So with that being said, Shalom.